ran by the madman. At the number 4 seed, you got the New York Jets. Mike. And then we have at the 5th seed, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now over in the NFC side, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now sitting at the number 1 spot with the first round bye. In second place, second seed, we got the Chicago Bears. The Bears, you know, ran by OJ. At the 7th seed, we have the Los Angeles Rams. Uh, Currently, Wei Chen is on a mini vacation, but I suspect he'll be back to claim his team and do his thing. Redemption is on the line. At the number 3 seed, we have Bang Bang Niner Gang BZN Bandito. At number 6, we got Kobe and the Atlanta Falcons. Still haven't seen Mr. Phoenix pop up yet, but we're waiting to see that. At the number 4 seed, we got the Dallas Cowboys from Match of 13. And at the number 5 seed, we have Z the Truth with the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau Field. Now, you know, so thus far, it's been some excitement in the league. The lead dogs over in the NFC and AFC side um, haven't really varied, but as you can clearly see, some of these lopsided ass scores. It's been some incredible football being played out here on the field. Um, so when we head on over to the NFC side, we already just gave you the preview for who's in the playoffs currently. This is, I believe, week 14, right? Yep, week 14 right now. So, right now over in the NFC side, the Tampa Bay Bucks do have a commanding lead. um, the Bears, OJ, will be serving a suspension, a 2-game suspension, coming up for that 69-50 uh, game that he just had against Green Bay, where he was passing late in the fourth quarter. Shame on it. Who tried to run game on it? Get back the trigger. Yeah. So I suspect he'll have 2 more losses. Hopefully, Green Bay can keep the winning streak alive. By the end of these next 2 weeks, they should have the same record. And then it will come down to who will win the NFC North in their final game. Kobe over in the NFC South, he's still hanging in there. Still dipping and dodging. Again, Mr. Phoenix hasn't shown his face yet, but we'll see. Then we got the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Rams rounding it out. The Saints, unless something happens uh, with the Falcons, unless they deconstruct, the Saints could definitely sneak in. Unfortunately, I don't see the Cardinals sneaking in, and the Vikings or the Commanders. That's just too many losses, you know. Moving on to the AFC, the big dog, the only undefeated team in the GFSSL league right now, the Indianapolis Colts, ran by Absolution. The man is just coming off a natty win, with Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, you know, Nebraska, corn, right? But let me talk to you. This guy is undefeated right now. This guy is playing a brand of football that, the likes of the GFSSL, uh, we haven't really seen before. Well, no, I'm lying. We have seen it before. We have seen guys up until week 13 undefeated. But, this guy is putting together pure dominant wins. Um, followed by the Chargers, Burt, fucking Burt. You know, Burt, you know, he's holding down that second spot. Very good competitor, you know. Uh, However, our last game, he did kind of rub me the wrong way. Ran for almost like 300 yards rushing, no passing yards. It was just disrespectful. But uh, we're going to serve up some pie next year for those Chargers. Again, Amfish, former Super Bowl champ, sitting at 10-3 over in that AFC North, which right now he should be leading that AFC North. Jacksonville Jaguars in second place in the AFC South. They are definitely trying to sneak in and get into the playoffs. We got the New York Jets holding it down in the AFC East. The Madman Denver Broncos, second spot in the AFC West. Very good opponent. Um, and then you got the Patriots, who are also trying to vie for a spot to try to get into those playoffs. Um, Unless him and the New York Jets, end up with the same record and it's a split down the middle, and we'll definitely see. Now, on the outside of the AFC playoffs, looking in, we do have the Baltimore Ravens. Uh, you know, uh, Lamar Jackson and those Ravens. It's been it hasn't been quite the year for them, sitting at 6-6 in the AFC North. You know, we got the Dolphins and the Texans and the Bills. But let's not forget those sorry ass Raiders, 3-9. But so this rounds up the AFC. You know, um, the playoffs are going to be very good. It's going to be very nice. Taking a look at the top performers in the league, stats and such. Right now, number one quarterback in the league is Baker Mayfield with a 71% completion percentage, 4,225 yards, 33 touchdowns. Followed by Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars, with a 68% completion percentage, 4,035 yards, 43 touchdowns. And then you have Drake May, 67% completion percentage, 4,031 yards, 41 touchdowns. Rushing attempts, top three running backs in the league: Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, and Mr. Blue from Dallas. Uh, Obviously, Jacobs has the most yards, 1,374 yards, 17 TDs, but Mr. Taylor has the most out of the touchdowns, 19 touchdowns. And the rookie Blue has the most attempts with 226. Receiving, we have A.J. Brown from Indianapolis. He was traded from Philly. Cincinnati's Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson's from the Minnesota Vikings. A.J. Brown, 72 catches, 1,484 yards. Jamar Chase, 94 catches, 1,415 yards. Jefferson, 87 catches, 1,407 yards. Uh, with A.J. Brown with the most touchdowns, followed by Justin Jefferson with Jamar Chase in third slot. Now, interesting enough, we do count running back carries from your starting running back to your second running back to your third running back. Now, normally, if that ratio is off whack, you're getting the player suspended. Now, will we see something like that implemented for guys that, have 3 or 4 wide receivers, but, one wide receiver is ending up with 3 or 4 touchdowns in a game, close to 200 yards? Are we going to look at the ratio of the receivers catching? Because there's a lot of guys that's running around with running backs with more receiving yards than their wide receivers, more catches in games than their wide. Are we ever going to look at that? That has been yet to be seen, but I'm just bringing that up because the ratios are off a little bit. All right, sacks. We got Tampa Bay, Mr. Braswell, with 13 sacks, 27 tackles for loss. We got the rookie, Mr. Carter, left edge from the New York Giants with 12 sacks and 15 tackles for loss. And then we got Mr. Myles Garrett, rounding it out with 12 sacks, 21 tackles for loss. Interceptions, we got Mr. Franklin, which is a Mike linebacker, with 12 interceptions, 9 deflected passes. Green Bay's Mr. Walker, a Will linebacker, 8 interceptions, 3 deflected passes. And then we got Indiana rounding it off again. Mr. Carlisle, Will linebacker, 7 interceptions, 1 deflected pass. Tackles, we got Mr. Barnes, Mike linebacker, was 111, 64 solo. Minnesota's Mr. Cashman, Mike, 92 tackles, 58 solo. And Indiana again, C. Bynum, strong safety, 107 tackles, 57 solo. So this is a roundabout. As we could clearly see, some of the scores from highlights from around the league. We had the Dallas Cowboys trump the Detroit Lions 55-17. The Tennessee Titans fell to the Cleveland Browns 7-45. We have the New Orleans Saints falling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-35. We had the Chicago Bears putting up 69 points on the Green Bay Packers. 69-50 was the final score in that one. And then we had the Indianapolis Colts whoop up on the Jacksonville Jaguars 60-39, staying undefeated. And to close out the show, we're going to look at some weekly recaps to see, some of the highlights and see what's going on in the league. And then we're going to close this out. And we'll be back for episode 3 once the playoffs starts, and we'll show who's in the offseason.
Who's ready for some December football? Hi everyone, Scott Hansen here, and this is your EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 14. Plenty of action to get you caught up on. We'll start in Jacksonville. The Jaguars at home to take on the Indianapolis Colts. And it's A.J. Brown. You want instant offense? Try this one on for size. He makes the catch, and then watch him go. And when you total it up, it's a 96-yard touchdown. Next up, Lambeau Field. Let's look in on the Packers as they play host to the Chicago Bears. And this is shades of 1985. The Bears defense getting it done. One more to show you real quick. It's over in Tampa, the Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. And how about a big play from the Tampa Bay special teams? They're going to field the punt, try and set up the blockers. It's there. He's got speed, and no one's going to get him. A punt return for the score. So that'll put a bow on this one. For all the hardworking men and women here in Orlando, Scott Hanson saying goodnight. We'll see you next week right here on EA Sports.